Welcome back to another watch along. It is the Clippers and the Suns with just an absolutely crazy first quarter. So let's jump right in. Early in the game, the Clippers up 2-0 out of the gate. They're playing without Kawhi Leonard and James Harden in this game. The Suns, you see Kevin Durant on the back door. No Yusuf Nurkic, so Drew Eubanks starting, but on that back door, got free throws. He actually missed both free throws, one of the great shooters in NBA history. Beautiful pocket pass and a corner cut. And in this position on the pass to the short roll, it's usually Bradley Beal who needs to sink down and take away that corner cut. Nicely done by Zubac on the pass. 4-0 Clippers. Ooh, so this is a typical screen away handoff action for Devin Booker that the whole league runs. Westbrook comes over to stunt at the ball, and Booker just makes a poor read. Nice job by Westbrook jabbing at him and then recovering into the passing lane. So this time Beal will initiate. That's a good look for him. Ivica Zubac for the Clippers in a drop that time. So Phoenix has yet to score. They go back to initiating through Paul George. Durant's on him. He gets a second defender. And that's a nice help by Booker. You can see they leave Westbrook alone in the corner as a non-shooter. That's part of the coverage. The spacing isn't great. Booker can come over. And then this outlet pass gets Grayson Allen, but he misses at the rim. So between Durant's free throws, Paul George, great tough shot making there. He and Kawhi have that in spades for the Clippers, so it always gives their offense a high floor. And the Suns have a similar thing, but we've seen Beal miss the jumper. That's a nice little pitch and push shot. Not quite a pitch and catch. But Beal missed the jumper. Durant's missed free throws. Drew Eubanks gets them on the board. So this is interesting. It's high pick and roll. They sag way off Westbrook, as we talked about. Booker comes over into the paint to tag Zubac, but that's an overhelp to me. Beal's already sagging off, and more importantly, Eubanks is in position, so Booker, I don't think, needs to be that far over. Nice extra pass by Russell Westbrook, and Terrence Mann gets in the books. It's 12-2. Phoenix looking for that same handoff action. And, okay, so this is Terrence Mann getting up into Booker as he comes around the screen, staying connected and trailing. And so he's able to get back in front of him, forces a tough, fading 18-footer. And this is sort of the mid-range diet that you're concerned about to a degree with the Suns going in twos if other teams go in threes because they have these three mid-range shooters. Paul George, his length on Bradley Beal, Westbrook on Durant, and they get a switch, but this isn't great for Phoenix either. And it's just a careless pass by Beal. The Clippers do really interesting stuff with how they set their matchups, especially in transition, and so they don't mind giving up different matchups. They're built to be a very versatile defense. So they go pick and roll, the short roll, and this time Beal sinks down to take away that layup. Westbrook, nice little touch pass right back to Zubac. And Mann just kind of outpowered Beal down there under the rim to get the rebound. And Eubanks comes over to defend that nicely. And that's just ridiculous shot making that we alluded to earlier by Paul George, the step back three. So he's got it going. Meanwhile, they're looking for maybe a little Spain pick and roll. And another pick six by Russell Westbrook. He was just sitting on that Devin Booker pass. Booker didn't realize it. Too tight. And so the Suns having all kinds of execution problems on offense, but to a large degree, the passes here have been their sort of unforced errors. So it is 17-2. After a timeout, just get a simple pick and roll with Eubanks and Durant. Decent look for Eubanks, but he can't make it. That's not exactly his game, acrobatic finishes coming down the lane. Multiple defenders sent to George. He just dribbles around everyone and is fouled. So we're up to 19-2. Man on Booker. This time they get a great look, and it just rims out. So that's probably the first really, really fantastic look they've had. Westbrook gives it back. Durant in transition. And I think he just trips on himself. Yeah, okay. His back leg hits Paul George's body, and he trips on himself. It throws his stride off, and that's why he ends up falling. And now they just get the side out. Looking to post Durant. As a good look for Durant, they ran a screen on the other side of the floor to get a switch so they could get Westbrook off him for that catch. Westbrook's drive, can't stay home. Grayson Allen with a lot of gnashing, and that gets Phoenix their second bucket. Drew Eubanks providing all the offense after 6 minutes, 19-4. So I think we've seen the concern about the Suns. Who's going to initiate offense? Who's going to make decisions? There's another defensive breakdown. And this is fantastic. One of my favorite concepts, Paul George down on the screen, U-turns and comes back out. As that's happening, if the Suns are going to switch, Terrence Mann can back cut the switch. This is probably a play they were specifically looking for, and Mann also just knows to look for that back cut. And on the Phoenix side, that's tough to defend, but this is where clearer communication or different coverages take that away. Suns looking for Eubanks to initiate that same corner screen and handoff. This time it's Beal. George pressuring him from behind. And Booker just misses a layup. So they have had some good looks in terms of, they should have more than 4 points. Terrence Mann just plows through Durant in transition. It is 23-4. Some tough shot making for the Clippers. Some defensive breakdowns for the Suns. And Phoenix would certainly have more than 4 points on most other nights. But it has been a struggle. You see some of these passes are just an adventure. Durant at the elbow. And this is a much tougher look than the one we saw before, because Terrence Mann pushes the catch out. Westbrook is sitting on the left hand. Spinning and fading. Good contest. Bull is in the game. And he's welcomed to the game by a much stronger Ivica Zubac. And that's just old school basketball. Run to the front of the rim. Seal a much weaker defender. Hoop and the harm. It is 26-4. Beal is out. So Paul George is on Eric Gordon now. They still have Westbrook on Durant. And this is part of the new physicality in terms of how the points of emphasis have changed the officiating a little bit. Durant, you can see the off arm pushing at Westbrook. A little contact from Westbrook. On the reach around, does he get off balance from the initial contact? Is there a foul there? I don't know. But physicality has always been something that can disrupt KD a little bit. He's not a power player. He's a finesse player. The ball handling can get a little loose at times. So that's a bunch of turnovers for a 7-minute stretch. Not a great shot from George that time, although he's made them. Oh, my goodness. Another missed layup. So they've missed like at least 2 or 3 layups. And then the rim run. Okay, so what happens here in transition? You miss a layup. That puts Devin Booker at the baseline. He's trying to get back in front of man. Bull takes a bad route. So he's behind the play. So now you have a 4-on-3. Zubac runs straight to the front of the rim. Allen picks him up, but he's too small. Great recognition by Paul George. It's so subtle. Just getting out of position by 1 step in the backcourt can spark a transition matchup like that. So another Phoenix timeout. They bring Beal back in and go to the small lineup with Thad Young basically as the center along with Durant. And Phoenix has had success with these small lineups before. They had a huge run against the Kings going to a small lineup in the fourth quarter Oh, that is just fantastic defense by Paul George. And first, it's Westbrook. The idea here is that Durant is going to set a screen in the corner, but he fakes it and slips, and Westbrook stays with that the first time. So Durant tries it again. When he does get the backdoor, it's Paul George who's there. And this is the difference from what we saw on that breakdown with the Suns. George, as he's chasing Beal through the paint, is still watching the ball, lingers and reacts perfectly. And now instead of a layup, you have a near turnover. And again, not the greatest choice to shoot with 10 seconds on the clock. Oh, they get it right back. Those are at least Eric Gordon shots. Like, he will make those sometimes, but I guess not tonight. And now you have to watch out for that cross match in transition because Phoenix is so small. Zubac ends up posting Eric Gordon. They ignore Westbrook so they concede the mid-range jumper, but he makes the mid-range jumper anyway. Now, I don't remember a first quarter like this ever. We had a 30-0 run earlier in the year with the Mavs that we wanted to do something on, but we were working on other projects. But this is a crazy first quarter, 30-4, and it's been a combination of bad luck for the Suns, some solid play for the Clippers, some breakdowns for Phoenix, and they've really had issues initiating with the pass and the passing lanes. Paul George is so great in the passing lanes. Russell Westbrook in this particular quarter has been really good in the passing lanes. And I'd say the biggest takeaway in the half court, and we're seeing it again here, is they can't get any downhill pressure. They can't get any paint touches. So Zubac's in the drop. They shrink the floor with the weak side defender, and you're just getting everything is contested 10 to 15 feet away from the basket. There's friction, and they can't get any rim pressure. Meanwhile, Paul George is just cooking. Looking for a Durant catch. Amir Coffey in the game. He's given LA good minutes this year. And that's a sweet spot jumper for him. And contested very well, but again, nothing going at the basket. Nothing creating rotation where the Clippers have to play 4-on-3 or scramble behind the play. This is a long time to go without having any of that. Now, they've missed some bunnies and layups. It could be 32-14 instead of 32-4. And I think those are the things that people have been concerned about with the Suns for a while, and Paul George. So that's a good place to stop. I've seen enough. Certainly just a ton of questions still lingering about the Phoenix experiment. They didn't have Yusuf Nurkic. The sort of concerns about the team that I think a lot of people have voiced throughout the year were present. Also just some fluke luck to make the score. Paul George looked great. He had 13 points in that quarter. 23 on the game. Russell Westbrook had 15 assists. And, of course, when Kawhi Leonard comes back, if he's healthy, this is the kind of switching, dynamic, two-way system that Ty Lue and the Clippers are hoping can give them a deep playoff run. To support us, patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. That's the best way to do it. Otherwise, thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it and that you are having a great day.